Well, I mean, recently I had a conversation, yesterday actually, I had a conversation with my grandmother. She's in Maryland. She lives in Maryland. I'm from Maryland, D.C. And she recently had a surgery on her eyes. She has cataracts, and she's been going through treatment with a belief and a hope and a wish that there will be some sort of healing, and she'll be able to see somewhat clearly again. But speaking with her last night, she mentioned to me that I should start doing yoga, and it was like out of nowhere. I've known this woman for all of my life, and never once has a conversation of yoga come up.
All right.
But my roommate is a yoga instructor, and my other roommate practices yoga as well. And I've always been kind of reserved about it, not because I didn't believe in it, just I didn't think I had the patience to channel in the way that...
What is there to believe in yoga that you're hesitant about?
It's not really anything about the act per se. It's the actual the actual participation of it, like having to breathe in deep. I mean, it's like a form of meditation almost, in a sense. And for a while, my grandmother has been trying to get me to meditate, and I find more of a meditation actually when I hike.
Okay.
Like it's more of a way for me to dial in internally with things that are going on currently in my life and around my life. And I guess that sense of motion, being active, somehow allows me to release and kind of process certain things and thoughts that I may have been having while working, while hustling in the real world. But those factors, those priorities kind of, I don't know, derail me from like dealing with like internal thoughts. So the hiking, more so than yoga, more so than actual meditation, seems to be like my form of meditation.
Okay. So just to repeat what I'm hearing you say, your grandmother has been wanting you to take up yoga, meditation, but you feel hiking.
she mentioned it the other day, like while she was in the hospital. You know, we're just having a conversation. Hi, how are you? How's the treatment going? Things of the sort. And then just like out of nowhere, she was like, DJ, they call me DJ back home. She was like, DJ, you should take up yoga. And it just struck me because I've never heard her say that. And then this morning, before I get here, I like to watch Jerry Springer. It's my dose of
escapism,
of reality TV, but with a little bit more reality, because reality TV doesn't really go the places that Jerry Springer often goes. So anyway, I'm watching Jerry, and typically Jerry has strippers, he has problematic relationships on his show, but this particular problematic relationship dealt with a stripper and a yoga instructor. And then it was like the night before, I'm talking to my grandmother, she's talking about yoga, and then this yoga instructor, she's on the show, and she's like doing like a 5-10 minute segment where she's like going through basic beginner positions. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this my grandmother like channeling me through Jerry Springer? Because I often would watch the show with my grandmother, like back in the day when I was like a little kid, when it was like in the height of it and all of that. So there was this weird like irony with watching Jerry. There's a yoga instructor on, my grandmother told me about yoga the day before. Most old people watch Jerry Springer, so it's just like, what's going on? So I got up and started doing these beginner positions through Jerry Springer, vicariously, like channeling my grandmother and her instruction. So yeah, it's been a weird 36 hours, bro.
That's very interesting. You believe that your grandmother channeled this yoga practice through Jerry Springer?
I would. Well, you said that. I was kind of. I guess I was kind of hinting around that, but it was just odd to me how last night I'm talking to her. She mentioned yoga. Jerry Springer, who probably has a yoga instructor on one in every 10,000 shows, and it just happened that she's on there like talking about how yoga relaxes her, how like it's helped her lose weight, how it's like really brought us like a certain type of purity and just fulfillment to her life, and it kind of felt like I could hear my grandmother through this woman. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say, but
okay,
yeah.
That's really interesting. Could I ask you maybe what's like the main reason why you believe this is actually happening? It's coming. Your grandmother's channeling this through Jerry Springer. What's the main reason why? You mentioned you felt like it, or
I think it might be because a lot of my roommates, my peers, the people, my friends, associates, like a lot of them practice yoga. A lot of them use yoga for various means, for various reasons, and I guess I've resented it because I wasn't patient for the process, but after like hearing this random woman just kind of talk about how it's been beneficial for her in ways that I can relate to, because I'm currently trying to lose weight. Like I'm trying to cut back on fast food and change the diet a little bit and get back to the 25-year-old version of myself. So
I'm more interested in this like mechanism of transmission of your grandmother through Jerry Springer. Like it seems some kind of supernatural element going on there, or some kind of weird thing going on there. Is that what you believe, or is it just a coincidence?
No, I mean I wouldn't disregard that theory just because my grandmother, she's a retired reverend, retired pastor. She's been teaching the word of the Lord for 3-4 decades, and she has this very holy presence about her that attracts the fortune that I've either been wishing for or praying for and been thinking about. My grandmother just has a very unique way of connecting with people, as well as myself, but she just has, I guess, a way of foreshadowing unlike any other that I've really experienced or been around in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've gone way past our time, but I'd love to keep asking questions if you feel like it, but don't feel pressured.
Don't feel obligated? Word. I'm chilling. I'm good.
Okay. So there's this sense that your grandmother maybe has, through her holy presence, she in a way attracted this fortune for you to take up yoga. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it was odd.
It was odd.
It was just odd. It was eerie. It was and ironic in the sense that after the conversation that I would be flipping through TV, stop on this channel. During the segment, they're talking about a subject that my grandmother and I were speaking on the day before, and the relevance of how this yoga instructor was struck by the actual act of yoga, and how my grandmother on the phone was talking to me about how through the practice of yoga, if I do it every morning, start with it every day, every morning, I'd be able to see what it is that God wants me to do for this day.
Okay.
And my grandma was always dropping heavy bombs like that. It's like, all right, Granny, like I thank you, and I appreciate that, but it's like really, sometimes it's like really, but I don't know, man. She's a special woman. She really is.
So it seems like in some way she might have had an influence on this situation where you found yoga through Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I mean that could be argued. Yeah.
Could I get a sense of your confidence that is true and accurate, say on a scale from 0 to 100? Like, how confident are you that she had an influence on this coming to you?
I would have to give it an 8, bro.
An 8.
I would have to give it an 8.
Okay.
Because I know this woman my whole life, and this is not like a first instance where it's not the first instance where like we've been talking about something and then a day later, a week later, a month later, like that karma, that fortune, that whatever it may have been that we were talking about, praying on, brings itself into existence in front of me. You know?
Okay, so you're not all the way to 100.
Not all the way at 100.
So are you saying it could be possible she might have nothing to do with this whatsoever? It might just be a thing that happened. But you're at an 8 currently.
I'm at an 8 out of 10, which is fairly high, which is like, I mean, come on, bro, you might as well just give it the other 2, but it's like, I still have my skepticism.
Well, yeah.
I still have my doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could learn or find out to change your confidence? Maybe go down to a 5 or?
No, well, because this happened last night, I could start practicing the yoga in the morning and see if what she said would happen after practicing it would then develop, you know? So I thought about
if you started doing the yoga.
If I started doing the yoga in the morning,
the positive thing she was telling you about happened, that would mean it's more likely it's true that she had some kind of influence?
Precisely.
Okay. Interesting. What would cause you to doubt even more? What would you have to find out?
To have more doubt about this instance, I guess when I turned on Jerry, I would have just seen the typical type of segments that are on there.
In the future, if you never saw yoga again, or
no, I'm saying like I believe I wouldn't have seen it this morning when I turned it on.
Okay. But in the future, what would cause you to lower your confidence?
If and when, after I do the beginning stages practice of yoga, and after doing that, if I'm not able to see or feel what I'm supposed to do objectively for that day, then I guess I would have a higher level of doubt.
Okay. How does feeling what you're supposed to do during the day, like confirming that through the yoga practice, relate to the truth of whether or not she had any influence on the Jerry Springer situation?
Well, I'm not entirely sure.
So, would you still say 8 out of 10 is the most accurate spot to be about this?
Based on what happened over the last 36 hours, yes, I would.
Duke, don't let me keep you
Sweet.
longer. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
What's your channel?
It's called Cordial Curiosity. You can check me out.
Oh, this is the card. I thought this was like a game you were gonna do
No.
like at some point. Cool. Reed.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a good day.
Thanks for the water, man.
Sure.